A stranger.
Pretty good, killer. Why I feel like I haven't talked to you in a minute?
Fucking dipped out on life for a second. I was dust off.
Damn, honestly, I feel like it's been like the past at least week or so. It's been like a blur. It's just been like so much just happening, and I don't know. I think it was like a weird week or weird couple weeks.
I had a weird past 2 weeks myself, but it
Yeah.
was like everything in life happens for a reason, and that's
Hmm.
that's just what I'm experiencing personally. But yeah, I mean, I'm good. Some shit,
Yeah.
I communicated with you through text
Yeah.
messaging,
Yeah.
but you know, shit hits the fan. But it's not what happens to you; it's how you respond to it. So we keep on
Well,
going.
see, I feel like in the moment, that's the thing about life. In the moment, nobody likes going through adversity, right? Because it sucks, it's uncomfortable, it's stressful. But really soon after, it becomes clear why that had to happen, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean, you can give any example. Like, let's say, it could be anything. I mean, there's so many examples. Just like, let's say, even moving to LA or you moving to Houston, right?
yeah,
In the moment, it's like, damn, this is a big move. Like, I don't know, like, how am I gonna make good money? There's all these things that's stressing you out, right? And not too long after, it could be months. Sometimes for me, it was probably like a couple years. But then you're like, yo, this is the best shit that ever happened to me, low key. It's the best shit that ever happened to me, and then it's all clear. So that goes for anything, even getting sick. I remember having pneumonia and and being in a really bad position. And it's like, yo, what possible benefit could I came out of that?
right.
But what happened that it humbled me. At the time, I didn't know that I was losing humility to begin with. You know, I was feeling myself. I thought I was shit for whatever reason. Not maybe not outwardly. I didn't treat people bad per se, but internally, I was feeling myself too much. I didn't think I didn't think anything could happen to me, which is not a good way to feel. So it made me appreciate life. It made me appreciate things going on, appreciate people in my life, and change my perspective, which is the best shit that could have happened to me long term.
Yep,
Long term
yep,
in life.
yep.
So I mean, everything you go through, you gotta welcome it. So shit, you get to the point like I was in a pretty bad car accident last week, and like when it happens, it's almost laughable. It's like, oh, of course this happens right now, and it's like, and then you get out and you kind of like, you know what? Who cares? Like this is what we got insurance for. It's not like I gotta sit down and fix this shit myself, right? So it's like,
Are you still able to drive the car?
oh, now I couldn't even move the car off the street.
Uh,
The front wheel came off.
oh shit. Okay.
That's never happened to me. I was like, well, the other guy was like, yo, bro, you shouldn't drive that because right now he saw a piece of the what the fuck you call it? I'm drawing a blank, but he saw a part of the wheel broke off. The
The
part that
rim?
holds the not even it holds the tire to the car.
Uh,
It's
I don't
it's
know.
like a round, yeah, like a round piece, whatever. But yeah,
Axle. I don't fucking know.
oh, actually, yeah. You're actually right. Yeah, a good
Hey.
guess. Good guess. So, so he saw a piece of it on the floor. I was like, "Nah, that can't be mine. That must be because I'm like, I barely skimmed the car. How the fuck with my axle? Nah, I'm like, you kind of in denial because I want to go home. I'm like, this is late. I'm tired. I'm like, no way, no, it must be from the other car or something. And then I'm like, I go with the drive, and it's like clack clack clack. And then I look at them. I see the look on their faces. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So by the time I look, he was like, yo, you probably would have flipped if you try to drive because your wheel is about to fly the fuck off. I'm like,
Yeah.
so you sit there for hours waiting for a tow truck, and it's hot as fuck, but you got to get over it and be like, yo, it is what it is. I can't control it. It's out of my control now. It's done. So whatever money that you're gonna spend, whatever, fuck it. It is. It already happened. So then you kind of get like peaceful because you're like, it happened. I'm not gonna stress about it. What do I got to do next? I got to go do cardio. I'm gonna go do
Hey, it's
cardio.
it's almost like when you're in the middle of a shit storm, it's more peaceful. It's like a hurricane. When the hurricane's coming,
Yes.
it's like, oh fuck. But when you're in the eye of the hurricane, it's clear as day, it's calm, it's peaceful. But then here comes round two, the other side of the hurricane. But like when you're in the middle of the shit storm, it's almost like fuck it, we're here. Let's deal with this shit now.
I feel like you're the perfect person to talk to about this kind of stuff. You know, it's like I feel like we can relate to that kind of stuff. Like we just be going through random shit, just random shit. You
But
know,
random as fuck.
and it's like at some point, I'm sure you used to probably be like, yo, why is this happening to me? Like this is stupid. Like, am I? Is it just specifically? Did I do something wrong in my past life? Like, what the fuck is
Okay.
this?
I'm not gonna pull Derek Lunsford. I do
Uh,
believe in God, and I believe
uh,
that everything that happens to you is to bring you back to Him. I'm not pushing God on anybody.
no, fuck yeah.
I have a relationship with God, and I'm only speaking my experience. Anytime I get further away from God, it's chaotic, and it's like some things I've been through, and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
when those things happen, all I have is that voice in my head to conversate with God, and that's what brings me back to a peaceful state.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
that relationship with Him, what I've created and what I've built upon has allowed me to embrace the suck when it does suck.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so okay, so here's the thing, right? Let's say you're not religious or you don't believe in God of any type, which a lot of people fall in that category, right? Even those people have a certain relationship. They might call it something else. They might say, Mother Nature, or they might say karma or life. Like
Let,
there's.
let me ask you this. Have you ever
Mhm.
been like, I'm sure you have, driving down the road, maybe with your seatbelt not on or nothing, and you're maybe smoking a blunt in your car, and you just have this random thought like, there's probably going to be a fucking pop up here. I should put this blunt out, or maybe I should
Yeah,
put my
yeah,
seatbelt back on, or, maybe I shouldn't run this next yellow light because whatever. And then let's just say you listen and you take heed to that thought and you put your seatbelt on. And then you drive 2 minutes down the road and you're like, holy shit, there's a fucking cop or a state trooper on the side of the road. Like when those things
yo,
happen, to me, that's the voice God speaking to me. That's just how
Alyssa.
I perceive it.
When I tell you shit like that happens to me daily, to the point that it's like a joke in my head. I'm like, I have the what do you call it? The best worst luck. It's like the worst shit that happens to me, I get the best case scenario out of that. Does that make sense? So it's like, how the fuck this happened to me? But then out of all the possibilities in this situation, I get the best outcome somehow. Every single time. So
Because you're a good person. You're not a
thank
piece
you.
of shit. That's why. That's genuinely why.
I appreciate that, right? So, I won't get too deep in the story, just because. But this is probably like I want to say 3-4 weeks ago. I didn't get arrested, but I got detained. So
Okay.
there's nothing on my record. I get detained, and I'm like, it's the weirdest situation. I'm like, it's like I can't say I didn't do anything wrong, but I didn't do what I was being accused of per se.
Okay.
But it was close enough that I could be like, you know what, I can take responsibility. But either way, they just let me go. And I'm like, yo, that's the best thing that could have happened. The fact that I got detained is fucking sucks and it's stupid. But guess what? I still got the best outcome. So it's
Yeah.
like, and the cops, like, I feel like people can read you. People can read, and I can tell they're looking at me, and I can see in their eyes they're like, this guy isn't a bad dude. Like they could see it. They could see, and you could read the energy, even though I was like not in a good. I'm dieting, so I'm not in a good mood.
Right.
They didn't even see the best side of me. They probably saw like a tired, fucked up version of me, and they could still see it because same way I could see through your eyes, and I know what kind of person you are, regardless of how you may behave in one circumstance or the other circumstance. We can see right through it, right?
Yeah.
We can see right
Yeah.
through it. So I think as people, we can tell. So things like that happen, and I'm just like, yo, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm religious. I grew up Muslim, and I don't practice Islam. But like you said, I have my own relationship, right?
So check it out.
Because
When you say religious, I grew up, I was, baptized Catholic church, Italian family, yada, yada, yada. But I never
yeah,
felt comfortable or I don't like being around people. Like same thing with training and bodybuilding. But spirituality is different
it
because
is
that's that
100%,
relationship that you have with God. So you
100%.
don't have to. this is church. Two people coming together to
100%.
speak, in a spiritual life. That's
100%.
church to me. I don't need
I
to go
agree.
to a certain building on a certain road with a fucking address that's called church and it
I
was
agree.
blessed by certain people. Like, that's not my thing. Again, every day I just wake up and I just listen. I pay attention to what I'm thinking. And again, the
That's it.
past 2 weeks for me, woo, it
It's a
was
lot.
it was
Yeah.
a lot up here. But I let the good thoughts outweigh the bad, and that's what
Good.
pulled me through. And I snapped the fuck out of it. So
Good. Good. Well, okay. It's like, see, this is where sometimes the issue comes in. Where my parents, it's like they want me to practice religion with the way they do it, but that's your own personal journey. You can't put that on me, right? Because at the end of the day, we gotta find our own way. You guys did too. My parents don't practice religion the way their parents did per se. Like, it's all about your own relationship, whatever you want to call it. You don't have to subscribe to this or that or that or this or this church or that. You don't, whatever makes you feel connected and good inside, that's all that matters. So I think we should judge less, or like, it's not good to push it and like you should follow it this way. That doesn't help. That creates more separation, right? No, you know what? I think you should be this or more Catholic or Christian or Muslim. Just let that person. It's gonna happen naturally because life is hard and these things happen to you. You're gonna find your own relationship.
yeah,
All it takes is going through enough shit, and eventually you will be like, "Yo, I get it now. Now I understand." Like you said, these things are happening. Like, there's no way. Like, these kind of things don't just happen by accident. I kind of understand what's going on right now. This is all for like a bigger purpose, and it makes sense. That's why I'm right here right now. That's why I met you. That's why I met him. And you're like, if these things didn't happen, what the fuck would even come of me? Like, I don't even want to think about it. But it worked out because it's supposed to, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you'll find your own way. I don't have to tell you, Alyssa, you should come to this church and trust me. I mean, I could if I felt like it would benefit you, but that's not what it's about.
I
You
get
know,
invited to churches all the time, and I respectfully decline because right off rip, one, I don't have clothes to wear to church. Straight up.
I mean, yeah, that's the funny thing.
I mean,
Mm.
I know for a fact you have nice clothes, but you come to where I'm living, all I have is gym clothes. Straight up. I don't have a pair of jeans. I don't have a pair of, like, going out. I can't go out to eat. I'm gonna be in my gym clothes,
That's
like,
hardcore.
because I don't give a fuck. I don't care to
Yeah,
impress anybody else because at the end of the day, one, and I've come to realize nobody gives a fuck. Straight up, nobody cares
100%,
until you're lit. Like when you're popping, that's when everyone's on your job. But
bro.
yeah, everything
Yeah,
happens for a reason, and that brings my thoughts to, because when you try to control your plan, so to say, God's gonna, well, in my perspective, God comes in. He doesn't interfere. He has a plan for each one of us.
yep.
And when we try to control it, which I sure as fuck try to control everything I do, that's when I'm like, okay, it's not my time. It's not right now. God has a bigger plan. I'm trying to
Yep.
force, I'm not necessarily trying to force something, but I'm trying to do something on my term, and it's not mine to control. So
100%.
I
Well,
just,
it's almost like we're like children. We think we get it, but we don't get it until we get it, right? It's like you tell a kid, yo, don't eat the I don't know, don't eat the cookies or don't eat the ice cream. You
yeah,
have too
don't eat
much sugar.
sugar. You're going to get cavities.
Exactly. And guess what? They go and eat all that sugar and get the calorie. And it's like, damn, wow, why did right? So the same thing happens to us. You think, let's put it with like career wise, right? Let's say you're bodybuilding. You're like, okay, I got to win the show, go to Olympia, and you lose, and you're like, why would I lose? I should have won this show. I don't get it. And it's like, this is stupid. There's no good that came out of this. And in the following year, same thing happens. Okay, this is bullshit. Fuck this. I want to stop. Then finally, that third year comes, boom, you get it. And then at that point in your life, you already got to a point where you're at complete peace with life. You found happiness. And you're like, oh, it had to happen this way because if it would have happened 2 years ago, I wasn't ready. I
Yes.
would have fucked it up. I would have bombed the Olympia. I would have blew that check. I would have lost that sponsor. I would have fucked it up because I wasn't ready. I thought I was ready because I wasn't mature enough to understand that I wasn't ready. Right. And then, things like that happen all the time. And you catch yourself and you're like, it had to happen this way because I couldn't see my faults before. until now in hindsight. And it's like, it happened in the timeline that was best for me, not the timeline that I have figured out. Oh yeah, I want to be Miss Olympia by the time I'm 26. You couldn't have been, because you
I
didn't even
wasn't
know what that
prepared.
meant.
Nope.
No, you didn't. I remember Phil Heath, when the first time he got second, he was like, at the time he was like disappointed. He was like, I had no business being Mr. Olympia at fucking 27. Like, I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't understand the gravity of it. It wasn't for me, and that's why I didn't win. But when I won, I was exactly ready for it, and I was able to make the best of it and become one of the greats, right? So it's like, that's just putting it toward bodybuilding, but it's not. This is not a bodybuilding thing. This goes for anything in life, like everything in life,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you know. And
Absolutely.
then it's almost like the red carpet gets rolled out, and you're like, oh, this wasn't my lane. I thought this was my lane this whole time. I thought I was supposed to be this guy, but now I learned that it's kind of my lane, but a little more to the right or a little more to the left. This is perfect for me. This is my perfect pocket. This is what I love, but this is the angle that works for me. And then it falls into place somehow, you know. And
It
when it
does.
does, it feels so good when it does, you know. It makes the bullshit worth it, you know. But
Yeah.
now it is good to have. Um, I think in nature, a lot of us are loners. We like to be alone. Like you said, I wouldn't want to go to church or the mosque just because, honestly, I don't even want to be around that many people. Yeah, if I'm being honest, you know. But that being said, we still need some core people. It doesn't need to be much. It could be a couple people in your life. It could be one person that you can talk to. It doesn't have to be a therapist. Some of us, we don't like once you pay somebody, sometimes that, I'm not saying therapy is bad. I think therapy is a great tool for a lot of people. But once you pay somebody, for some of us, it loses that effect of that personal touch where we don't feel like this is real anymore, right? Where if I text you at 2 a.m, I know you're gonna reply. You know, if you text me, shit, you can text me anytime.
Hey, I called you at like 1 o'clock that one morning.
Yeah,
Hey, I know you're the only one awake right now.
yeah. And then, you're talking to a person, you bouncing things off. Deep down, you kind of know, well, maybe in the moment you don't really know things are going to be okay. But bigger picture, you do. You just need to, like, kind of like, whether it's venting or like it's like I don't even know what to call it. Like, you have to get things off your chest, because
Yeah.
sometimes it should have weigh you down. And once you say it out loud, you talk, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. You know.
I swear that's what I'm dealing with, because like in a prep, I start getting like in a hole, and then I seclude myself because I'm just like tunnel vision, and that
You go too
starts
far.
I start creating toxic habits. And
Sure.
again, in the past 2 weeks, I just completely just got that shit out of my life because I can't live life unhappy. And it was creating, it's not that, me and my roommate, Chris,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's not that the little sidebar conversations, I don't have that in my mental capacity. Like, I don't want to, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just where I'm at right now with my hunger levels, my energy levels, everything else included, the steroids in my fucking body setting
Mhm.
me off. Like, I just don't have it in me. And thank God, again, everything that I went through this year has allowed me to live with someone who completely 1,000% understands it. So
Mhm.
I've been in an environment where I was able to truly be just who I am. Like, when I shut myself down and not be like looked at a certain way about it. But I can't continue those habits because it was creating. I just fucking started hating bodybuilding.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just had to stop being the same way. I had to change something, and I don't fucking know, dude.
Man, yeah. Well, if you, that's always my advice for people. I mean, but if you knew how many pros, amateurs, everything in between, like the people you would never even, like the outside public would never even guess, told me like, yo, I'm done with this shit. Fuck this shit. They're not bullshit. At that moment, they're 100% serious too. Like, fuck this shit. I'm done. Fuck it. And me hearing it, I could see where they're coming from, but we 99% of the time, I know it's not permanent. It's just your headspace, and you need a break. I don't tell them that. I just tell them, I support you. Is, because I don't want to tell you like, you just emotional right now. You need a break because that will be kind of like I feel like that would be like kind of brushing them off. So at that moment, I know what they want to hear is mostly like support. So I support you. Oh yeah, you know what? I get it. This is not the end all be all. It's true. Obviously, no sport or career is the end all be all. So let's say if it was a 1% chance they actually meant it, good. I mean, it's probably for the best if you really hate it. But the truth is, you probably hate it for that moment just because the hole you put yourself into.
Yeah,
We all get there sometimes, right? You
yeah.
seclude yourself because you want to be alone. Then you seclude yourself so far that you lose touch with humanity. You don't even know what you are anymore. You don't even you're not even a human being anymore. I don't know what the fuck you are.
I was literally just left with my the shell of my body, and
That's
then
it.
my overthinking thoughts. Like, I got to do this. I got to prep my meals. I got to do more cardio. Like, God dang, dude, I
It's
can't handle
wow.
it. Like,
It's gotten so bad. Forget being able to talk to people. I couldn't even listen to people. Somebody would talk to me, and I would look dead in their face, and I couldn't even say anything. I'm just like, whatever you say. If there's no yes or no answer, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you come up to me, yeah, man, the weather today. I'm just like,
literally,
I got nothing for you, bro. I'm sorry. Like, with all due respect, I got nothing for you today.
just
You
text
know.
me later.
Yeah, and you go so far deep, and then sometimes you can come back out of it. Like it takes somebody, just one person that you
Yes.
respect or love in some way, to kind of just reach your hand down. Yo, it's okay. Yo, there's this show, whether I don't know, the Cow Pearl going on. Yo, let's go to the show, and you're like, I don't want to go, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take a little kratom, and I'm gonna pop up, and then you come up, and you're like, yo, that felt good. I didn't think actually being around, maybe not everybody, but just being around that person or those couple of people. I see Paul. Oh, okay, there goes Paul. There goes Joe. Yo, this kind of feels good. Oh, those are my guys. Actually, I kind of forgot. I even have people I care about. It's like shit. I
Yeah,
kind of forgot about
literally,
that.
dude.
Mhm.
I just did that yesterday. I went out to the Species gym. They had a little carb show thing, and my homegirl Donna, me and her did the 2023 Texas Pro together. She got fifth. She lives here in Houston. She's Chris, my roommate's client. Long
Yeah,
story short, we just, again, this is God's plan. God put me into that gym yesterday. I was solo dolo. Next thing I know, I saw Donna. Next thing I know, she was on the rear delt machine. I hopped in. We started training together. And then it was like, I just snapped out of it. Like, I
mm.
wasn't thinking anymore. I was just living in the moment. And I was like, I fucking love Donna for that. I
You
met her
see,
friend Alicia. Like, now I have two people I can hit up to train if I need to. Like,
it feels good. It feels
it
good,
does,
doesn't it?
dude. It
But
was amazing.
but you just get so far gone that you forget that's even the thing. You genuinely feel like you don't want it for a while until you go far deep enough and you're like, you know what, that's actually pretty nice. That's actually pretty nice. So it's
I
one of those
start
things.
getting to the, I'm like, well, they're not going to train as hard as me. They're not going to be able to keep up and they're going to slow me down. Or I just start overthinking shit. And
Yeah,
I just got to, boom, 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 just be spontaneous and fuck it. Just
and get
take
it done.
action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you're at the advanced level of bodybuilding as well, right, like yourself, right, there's something to be said about calling an audible. You know your breaking point. Everybody, first of all, everybody has a breaking point. I don't care who you are. You could be the more. You could be Branch Warren. You could be Ty. You could be the most hardcore person on the planet. We're still human beings. Don't get it twisted. Like I said, humility. Don't get it twisted. Start thinking you some mutant or some shit. Like
Yeah.
we're all. By mutant, about that wasn't like a Nick Walker reference. That was just a general thing. But yeah, we're all human beings. That's all we are. So we got to relax sometimes and understand that you're still a person, right? So
Yep.
yes, we're all hardcore. Yeah, we do a sport that's very difficult. Now, yeah. That being said, we have a breaking point. You know your breaking point, Alyssa. So if you're in prep, let's say you're 6 weeks out and you're on that edge. Okay, this is things. I just is just not something's not right. I'm just not. I'm out of it. Right. I'm out of it. You can choose to pull back and give yourself a couple of days and say, you know what, no cardio. I'm gonna eat what I want. I'm gonna just decompress. Because sometimes if you don't do that and you hold off, like this is what I always did in the past. I I have this phobia of not being in shape. This phobia, and what happens is I overdo it to the point that I end up so flat that
Yeah.
I still look like I'm not in. You're like, bro, you look like you were better shape 6 weeks out every single time, and it's like, obviously I'm not. I'm leaner. on the stage, but you can't tell because I'm so fucking flat. My skin is fucking loose. So this phobia is fucking me up, right? So now I'm at a point where I'm like, all these guys who are beating me, they're giving themselves that leeway. They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
no. I had a off day here. And then you're like, okay, I need to chill the fuck out. So you get to that breaking point. It's okay to say, okay, only for advanced people. If you're a beginner, you might think it's a breaking point, and you're probably just like, you got some
Weak.
cravings. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
probably just being
Just
weak.
being weak.
But you know damn well you're not weak. So you could be
No,
like, you know
fuck
what?
no.
Fuck this. I'm gonna take these 2 days, relax, go out, see the city, and then come back. And I'm gonna just be able to hit it that much harder come Monday. And then you do it. You like maybe you gain 5 pounds. I don't care if you gain 6 pounds. That 6 pounds is nothing compared to what would have happened if you didn't take that. What would have happened is you wouldn't have made it because
Yeah.
you were already going out. You know what I'm saying? So that does happen too. That happens to so many competitors that have so much potential that I've seen in the last decade. They'll get to that breaking point and they'll keep pushing and then they'll break, right? That's what happens when you get to the breaking point. You know, it's happened to me a couple of times, you know. But yeah, it's one of those things. So you have to, if your mind is fucked, it's game over. Treat your mind right. Without your mind, the body means nothing. All this physique shit it means zero if your mind is gone. So
Yeah.
mind first. Make sure your mind is recovered and ready to go before you try to push your body to win shows, you know. So that's one of those things, you know. Yeah. Wow,
Life, brother.
that that was a deep way to start. But I think things like that are necessary. The mind games, right?
Yeah.
Um, the general public looks at the sport and it looks almost all physical, like the most physical sport ever. We know that it's nothing. It's like yes, you got genetics and hard work, but it's really mental. Mental is the name of the game, 100%. You know. So
It sure is.
all right, when was the last time we haven't reviewed any of these shows? I don't think we've been on since when
Honestly, I
was the
ain't even
last?
been keeping up. I don't even know what's going on, honestly. I
Wait
dipped
for
out. I've had deuces.
yeah. So
What?
sometimes that's honestly,
Nick won New York, and then what was after New York?
after New
California,
York, yeah, Cal, and then Legion.
and
When was the
then
last episode?
Why was Kennedy in the second call out? That's what I want to know.
They moved him back up. It's like what in the fucking world made you think this guy wasn't taking call at the beginning with? Like I
Did he
don't know.
beat
And
Blessing?
he did, and I feel like that's kind of like okay, at least he beat Blessing. But here's the thing: this is with all due respect. In what world does Patrick Moore even beat Ken? I'm sorry. Like Ken is bigger. Ken got just as good shape. Ken was in just as good condition. I mean, I don't see Patrick beating Ken personally, but I mean, people could accuse me for being biased to Ken, but I'm just looking at the fucking physique. That dude was the biggest, densest guy in the lineup. But that's just me personally. Maybe it's a preference, but I can't see Patrick beating no Ken personally. You know, so
I gotta review pictures. I can't give my
oh,
opinion because I don't know jack shit. But
let me
I don't
pull this
know.
shit up. Let me pull this shit
Okay.
up. It'd be all type of sometimes it's hard to to find everything in one place because you got phone pictures here and then you got Gilco here and then I don't even know who has the most consolidated archives, but we're gonna find out. Let me see. Safari. This is okay. I'm a little rusty. I ain't podcasting in a little while. Okay. Oh shit! I thought Smoke King looked good too. I forgot. I forgot he was in the lineup. Yep. I got to be honest. Sometimes it's like these shows are hard to judge because these are the best in the world. So sometimes it can be really close. But let's look at the lineup. Full lineup. Oh well, Kennedy wasn't even in here, so I can't even show him.
Hmm.
But this was the initial first. this was the initial first call out. Um, yeah, but Blessing snuck in there somehow. But the rest. I mean, the rest of the lineup does look good. I'm not. They do look good. This is the best Patrick look in a very long time. But um, I don't know. I still don't have him over a few of you guys. I don't think I have him over Florian. I don't think I have him over Bruno or Ken personally. Blessing, I have him over. I have him over Blessing though. Let's see. I want to see more comparisons. What's somebody else? Basulios. I want like a straight shot with all these people in it. I probably can't find it.
What
Oh no, that's
about
fine.
Bison? There you go.
Oh, that's pretty good. I guess I would have. Okay, well, good. Ken isn't signed up. Okay, so all right.
You know
I
what?
get.
I'm just looking at Ken right off the bat. Like it's the quad separation he's not able to display that's gonna take a fucking big
Yeah,
piece of his
yeah.
placement.
But okay, you look at this. How many people is it? Seven. What would make you have Ken all the way to the left of seven? Just look at him next to Blessing first of all. Look at
Yeah,
Blessing's leg, right?
yeah.
And Ken could use more separation in his quads. Let's say, right? Look at look at his next to Blessing quad. Like what made you place them like? I mean, they didn't place them, but what made you even stand them like this? Is what I don't understand. Um, yeah, the rest of the lineup. Who's this guy?
Kennedy looks huge in that rear last change.
So Ken actually was the biggest, densest guy in the lineup, which is crazy because he's like new. He's like pretty new to. I mean, he's a brand new pro, but even the size is new, but he is stuck. It really stuck, you know.
He makes
And he was
every
in.
other dude in the lineup look scrawny. Plus, it's
Yeah,
partially small.
yeah,
It almost
yeah.
looks like he's photoshopped.
He does. This is the thing about bodybuilding. Like how much does aesthetics and structure outweigh the muscle mass, especially when the muscle mass has good structure like Ken, right? Because Tonio is not a big guy. Patrick is not a big guy. Well, Bruno is a big guy, but it's like okay, they have nice shape. That's dope. But these guys have nice shape too. Not for nothing, the whole lineup got nice shape, but they're so much bigger, right? I'm not saying Tonio shouldn't have won because I mean Tonio is one of the best in the world, but still, just judging all of them, like how much are we gonna give the shape and structure over people who are bigger and still have really good shape and structure, right? So I don't know. I think that's interesting. But good lineup.
In the comments, they were saying that Ken's got to pay his dues, but it's like, fuck that, dude.
Oh, this guy said I don't know how Ken is in second. Yo, bro, I'm thinking. See, it's not just me being biased. This is what I'm thinking too. It's like okay, but I was telling Ken. I remember, but when he was prepping, I'm like, luckily these days you don't have to pay your dues, right? So because compared to back in the days, but maybe you do because I can't see
Like,
how
you
he ends
have
up
to,
fifth.
you don't really understand until it happens to you type thing, you
Exactly.
know. We'll have to
Look at
get
this pic.
Kennedy on.
Look at Ken. Look at Ken in this lineup from the front, just in the front double. Like that. This alone says a lot, you know. But
Crazy.
shout out to the Legion show. It was it's a really well ran show, and from what I hear from the athletes, it's one of their favorite shows to compete in.
Early in the season this year, too.
Have you done Legion before?
No, I was going to do it last year. That's the show I bailed from because I was sick.
Oh, okay, okay. But
It's in
it looks
Reno,
like
right?
it is in Reno. It looks like a dope show.
Yeah, it looks dope. Good lighting, good little
I would
expo.
love to do a show like that. Okay. Hey, I know Fatu. Oh, did she place well? Bikini. Yeah. That's my friend. I did a photo shoot with her.
Didn't Shanique
Oh,
Grant do wellness or something like that?
she did, which is insane. She looked like a different person. It's crazy. But the genetics are genetics, man. Like her genetics is gonna carry her no matter what shit she could do. Any sport she wants to do, her genetics carry her. She's just one of those genetics. I don't know what placing she got, but I'm assuming she plays really really well.
Who won wellness for that show?
I was actually trying to find that, and I wanted to see if she won, but she's doing another show, so I'm assuming she didn't win, but that doesn't mean she didn't because you could compete even after you win. I didn't see like a winning post, so I assumed she didn't win. But I mean, shit, those dimensions are crazy. That's just insane. It's like a girl Keon.
If you go from women, okay,
Mhm.
this is just my own. I don't know. If you drop categories, are you still a bodybuilder? Because you're actually a body loser.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
It's
saying
hard
she's a
to.
loser. I'm not calling
No,
her
I
a
know.
loser. I'm saying like you're
I
regressing.
understand.
So like I don't know. I'm not a fan of the wellness and bikini because it's not fucking bodybuilding, man.
From what I
Sorry.
remember, her biggest thing was that she always felt like
Do
she
I
was
get
super
paid enough?
she was super scared to lose like a certain look. Like she did bodybuilding because of her genetics. She had the crazy genetics, but it always seemed like the coaches were pushing her in a direction, and she didn't want to go in a direction. She likes being like a girly girl. That's like her thing. So she was always uncomfortable with it. But then she was really fucking good, you know. And you would think you would kind of just grow to like it, but I don't think she liked it. I don't think she liked it at all, you
Because
know.
you have
So
to be a bodybuilder at heart in order to do what like
100%.
women's physique and bodybuilders do. You have to love training. You have to love the life of bodybuilding. And even though
100%.
I get paid literally nothing from these bodybuilding shows, I still love it.
Well, that's we talked about mentality, right? How important that part is. Without that, nothing else matters. Like you could have one in a million. I don't know if there's ever been somebody with her genetics, but it's irrelevant. If you don't want to do it, nobody else can make you do it, right? Your friends, your coach can't say, "Yo, Alyssa, you have so much potential." It's not gonna last because you don't want it for the right reasons because you don't really give a fuck about it. So I think that's the most important part. You ever get like younger people ask you like, "Oh, what do you think about? You think I have potential in the sport?" I'm like, "Why are you asking me that?" Like, no, you don't. So, are you gonna quit? No. Okay, so you like it. That's why you're doing it. I assume, yeah. Why the fuck are you keep asking people about what do you think your potential is? You're doing it because you love it. It's irrelevant what your potential is because unless you're gonna stop if I tell you can't be Mr. Olympia, then why are you even asking it? I don't think it's a question that makes sense, right? Like when you started, like were you doing it only if you could be Miss Olympia, or were you doing it because it made you fucking feel good and you resonated with it and you loved doing it, you know?
Dude, I was doing curls in the bathroom with my mom's yellow 5 pound dumbbells till I made a bicep vein pop. Like, and I was like in middle school. And then in
Yeah,
high school, I did weightlifting and I won state. And my coach was a bodybuilder. He's Mr. Florida, Mr. Panama City.
yeah,
And I was intrigued with the growth of what you have to do to build muscle. That's what I was intrigued with. The
yeah,
nutrition, the supplementation, the diet, whatever the training, all of that. That's what and then I graduated and I was like, well, I don't know what to do anymore. I can't power lift. And I just did a bodybuilding show because I love the lifestyle.
yeah. That tells you a lot about who's gonna make it or not. Like anytime I have like a younger client, I'm not concerned with necessarily their genetics or how fast they put on muscle. All of that, I don't really care because all of that is irrelevant if I don't see that drive for the right reasons. So once I see they really want to get after it for the right reasons, just because they love it, I can already tell they're gonna do well. Whatever the ceiling is, it is what it is. But I can tell they're gonna do well just because they're in it for the right reasons. You know, the worst thing I could hear is when a client starts talking about like popularity or social media. I'm like, you don't need the stage for that. So do me a favor and don't even worry about the stage. If your goal is to be like this social media influencer to do that. Like you think that people care about your medals for social media? That it's not about that. So if you're gonna tell me that, then I don't really care to hear about competition plans because those two aren't mutual. You know, so that's that. It's two different games, two different ball games. They can intertwine if you learn how to do both, but you still have to have, like Bumstead is a bodybuilder. He's not an influencer. That's just something that happened. People gravitated to him. He wasn't trying to be famous or popular, right? But then the people who are trying to be like him, not realizing that that's the whole reason he blew, like, or Sam, because they weren't trying to blow. They were just doing what the fuck they did. And you could come along and watch if you want to. If not, you could keep it moving. There was, there was no ads, there was no tricks, there was no trying to get your attention. I'm just here doing my thing. You want to watch me? Watch me. If you don't, keep scrolling. That's it. So, all right, let me go back to the Gilco. Look at some HD footage. Start with Patrick. Well, his leg, I feel like his legs came up though, because his legs was like a weak point.
He does look better from what I'm able to
Yes.
see. I'm trying to wreck on this interstate. Who coaches him?
I think he coached himself for this one. But
Okay, props to
he
him for that.
his posing was a little jittery, but I think a lot of people posing this kind of jittery, I gotta be honest with you. But yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people can improve on. Presentation.
Give me up.
Well, this is the best he looking in a long time. Still not at the Olympia level when he did the Olympia, but the best since then probably.
Yeah, he does look bigger, fuller, tighter.
Yeah, it's just a good look. It's a good look. It's a good look. No, he didn't get into any fights too before this one, so that helps. No boxing matches.
Of cortisol spikes.
Mm-hmm. This guy, he's pretty bubbly.
Is
It,
that
it's
the
interesting,
dude? What's
huh?
his name?
Bruno,
Bruno?
yo,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like, so he's like my height. He's like 5'11", 6 feet, but he has a big ass head, so he looks like. Tell me, he doesn't look like he's like 5'5". I'm like, but by himself, I'm like, yo, why does he
Yeah.
look? Yo, he's like a bulldog, bro. This dude is a bulldog. It's fucking. It's kind of cool. I want to see him in person because that gotta look. Imagine a 6 footer with a head of like a 5'3" person. That gotta look crazy in person.
Yeah, he's bubbly, and them glutes are bubbly too.
Yeah, I definitely like this look. It's kind of like a mini Compton look. Compton had that real compact, fucking round look.
Yeah.
It's a dope look, and still a good waist.
Yep.
Still a good waist. I like this guy, Bruno. And Antonio won. I think it's the second time he won the show.
Yep.
Um, I mean, but pretty much look how Antonio look. I mean, I think he's a little bit bigger. Maybe not as hard as his hardest. Like not as hard as like the Olympia that he did, but pretty normal Antonio condition, and definitely bigger. I feel like definitely bigger in a lot of places. Um, I don't. I think him and his coach know that they don't have to be the most peeled person in the lineup to win. And when you have deep insertions, I think you can look more conditioned than you really are. So then you can really play with the fullness, which is something that so like it's like an Andrew. I mean Andrew isn't as good a condition as Tonio, but Andrew has really deep insertions, so he sometimes he looks even leaner than he is when he's not lean. But it's a good look. It's a good look by Tonio. All right, that was it. I don't really know what happened when classic. I think one of my friends won classic, or one of the boys' friends. His name is Andy. Just I'll find this Andy right here. Hey, why didn't Brady do the show?
Oh yeah, I saw a post of them winning.
Yeah. I'm surprised because Brady's still competing, I think, and Brady's right there. He's right there to qualify. That was a deep ass lineup he competed in. He got third or fourth in like it was an Olympia lineup type shit. It was like crazy lineup. So I think Brady does any other show. I think Brady wins. But shout out Andy. This is he looks young. I don't know how old he is, but he
Yeah,
looks young. Good look. I think he's short. I think he's on a
was
short
that his
side
pro
too.
debut?
I think it was. I don't think he's been that pro for that long. He's a local guy, and I think he's like a newer guy. He looks like a kid. He looks really young actually, but he could just have a young looks to him. All right. Did we look at Cal? I don't know if we did a podcast after Cal. I don't remember.
I think y'all did because I
Oh
didn't
damn.
watch anything.
You know, I haven't been watching bodybuilding content on YouTube at all. The only content I see is on Instagram. Oh, it's my boy, Black Rambo. Shout out Rambo.
Yeah, he's crazy looking.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I haven't been sometimes I get like that where I kind of want to break from bodybuilding content. It's a lot. It's all bodybuilding all the time. So then I'm like, yeah, let me just take a little break. And did it? Oh, there he wasn't at
And
the
no
Cal.
lie, sometimes, I mean, I'm sure with podcasting too, you probably get not sick of it,
Yeah.
but like burnt out maybe.
I do, yeah, I do get, I do. I try not to show it because I'm the host, but sometimes I don't want to do the podcast sometimes, and so I look for excuses, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm off season, I'm gonna force myself to do it every single time, just because I'm like I'm off season, bro. But in prep, if I'm really not feeling it, I gotta be kind to myself and be like, yo, I just gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to not do it for this week or whatever, you know. And I mean, everybody's gonna be okay. Everybody's gonna be okay. I do get DMs, but like some people, they don't like it too much. But I'm like we said, we all human. I'm a human being. Sometimes I need some rest too. You know, it's definitely nice to know that people want to see it though. But shit, we human beings. Oh, Janicki. Shout out homie Janicki. He's doing a pro qualifier, Mexico Super Show. I mean, he's a big motherfucker, so he's in shape too. It looks like so. I don't see why he wouldn't win unless you know somebody's somebody would have to have insane shape. Nobody's gonna be bigger than him. Somebody would have to have insane shape and insane condition. Those are usually the people that do beat him.
That's today.
Yeah, that's today. Mm-hmm.
That's a nice little rear double.
Yeah, he's thick, man. He's a thick dude. He's local too. He goes to zoo.
Yeah.
He's really impressive in person. I mean, he's impressive here too, I'm sure. But you know how it is. Everybody's more impressive in person.
So who's he in the lineup with? That's wait at this show. Is it like an overall win or a class win to turn pro?
Being that it's a Mexico Super Show qualifier, I'm pretty sure you have to win overall because they better not be giving every division pro qualifier. No, but yeah, but I mean he should. I mean I can't see why he wouldn't. You know, which is he's been so close so many times. Just he usually picks he tends to pick some of the hardest shows, which is I personally respect that because it's like ain't no ducking in this game. Fuck all that. Just show up,
So
man.
what do you think's the hardest amateur show?
It changes. I don't think it's like before where it's like it goes by prestige. Like okay, this show is harder. I think nowadays it depends who shows up because it flip flops so much. Like I'll see a USA, I'm like, oh, this wasn't that deep, and then I'll see like a North American, like, oh, this is pretty. So it kind of goes up and down. But if I had to pick in general, I would still say I think nationals, but because they give top two pro cards, then it evens out, right?
Yeah.
So I think I usually see the across the board. I now wonder because I'm usually looking at supers, and supers is all over the place. But if I'm looking across the board, every weight class, I got to I think I gotta say nationals. I think that's why they give the top two pro cards, anyways. You know, because usually I know people talk shit about that, but if we're just talking about bodybuilding, usually the top two people that I see, they both did deserve it. Not very often. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This guy got a pro card at nationals. I don't see that very. Usually, I'm like, that top two is close, and yeah, they both look like they could make their way to the pros. So I think I got to go nationals. You
Yeah,
know,
I would agree.
and nationals tends to have more names, like people that I'm watching and following and know about. Whereas USA's last year, it was a good lineup, but it wasn't people that anybody knows. To this day, nobody still knows. To
Yeah,
this day, nobody knows them.
I couldn't tell you who turned pro at USA last year.
But they were good. It's just that they weren't people that anybody knows about, posts about. They don't circulate. No, they're not. Shit, some of them didn't even have social media until after the show. So, yeah, I would say nationals. But like the best pros, it's not like before where all the best pros are coming from the USA's and nationals. Some of these pros are coming from a lot of international. Some of them Nick came from North Americans. Ken came from North Americans. Um, Andrew came from Arnold Amateur. Kane, no,
Did
no,
Martin come from North Americans?
he did, he did. He went against Nick for the overall. That's where all that started. He's still trying to beat that guy. I mean, it might happen eventually. It's just that Nick was always slightly ahead of him, but he did a great job closing the gap. It's just that that's life. I don't think you should focus on any person though. Fuck that. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. And then you'll start doing things that maybe you shouldn't do. Like, let me be bigger so I could, so
Yep.
you don't want to do that. Nick is worried about himself and winning. He doesn't care about anybody in the lineup. Okay. All right. What I was looking for, Cal. Oh, Regan won. Regan won, Cal. It's all a blur. These shows are so back to back that I don't even know. I can't keep up. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, Regan won that one, and Sauce. Let's see. And Sauce got second. Okay, here we go. So I think we all complained about last year that Cal had Kane. No, no, down. Yeah, the Cal last year had, I mean, a lot of years had terrible pictures and videos. Like, I don't even think they had videos, but they had terrible pictures. And this year they stepped it up. Like this looks pretty sharp. I like this.
Yeah, the lighting was good.
Yeah,
But one thing with Regan, that because I've been listening to hella podcasts, is his tan was still like New York tan was off, but then he showed up again, and the second Cali tan was off again too.
yeah. I don't know what I don't know what it is. Well, I think he was talking about the tanning people kind of fucked him.
Yeah, I
I
couldn't tell you exactly what, but they were trying to like glaze them or bronze them or something like that.
I
And
think
then the same thing with sauce because it was like
oh yeah, with it.
I don't
But
know. I'm fucking
sometimes
depleted right now. I can't think straight.
sometimes I feel like the people who bring the most consistent tans do that shit themselves, low key. Okay. I don't think I
I
actually looked
think
at the pictures.
I think
Uh,
getting a base tan is very important, and unfortunately, I can't find a fucking tanning bed, or else I'd be in one. But
yeah, yeah. I think that makes it more difficult. Some people, some people do the
Milano
Milano
tan,
tan, yeah, plus tanning, plus a bunch of coastly like Hollingshead. Hollingshead was dark before he even started the tan. He really went ham on the Milano tan. Sometimes you might need that, but um, yeah. In these pictures, it's been like sharpened and stuff, so his tan actually doesn't look as bad as it did in the videos. But what do you think about Regan here at the cow?
I like Regan. Regan looks good.
He does. He
I'm a
looks.
fan of his physique.
Me too. I mean, okay, so just look at these two shots. I don't see anything missing down to the calves and forearms. I don't think there's any part of this pose that's like missing. Like, oh, he needs more of this. I mean, if you nitpick compared to maybe the best in the world, you could probably say arms and chest, but it flows great. I think. Shit, this pose. I mean, that's pretty lights out. I mean, that's from hamstrings, glutes, calves, lower back, lats. Everything is there. Everything is there.
Yep.
God
Damn
damn.
solid.
This is This is crazy. This is pretty crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shit, they're showing all his best poses first because I'm like, all of these been lights out. I feel like the legs were full, which is always good. Yeah, the vacuum on him actually looks better. He was crunching down as well. I don't think because you see his abs aren't like crazy even and aesthetic. So in the vacuum, I thought that looked good. But here's the vacuum. Oh yeah, that's a good vacuum actually. Yeah, shout out Regan. That's a really good look. Well deserved. And that's like I just saw Sass. Okay. Yo, Sass is peeled, yo. Sass is peeled. Regan was in shape too, and you see the difference. Oh damn, Melissa's gone. Oh shit. Well, it's the macho show, I guess. All right. Let me keep going until she gets back on. Oh shit. I didn't know that could happen. Oh yeah, Sass. Oh shit, it dropped and then you came back. I didn't know that could happen.
I can't see you. Okay. My phone overheated.
Holy shit.
Texas problems.
Is it that hot over there?
I guess. I got the AC on. I don't know what else.
But remember, we talked about the tan, right? I said the pictures are so sharp that Regan's tan looked pretty good in the pictures. But compared to this tan, even in the pictures, you see how much more darker and tan Sauce looks. So in contrast, you can kind of see the tan difference. But yeah, he's peeled. You know, the guy's peeled. I like Sauce too. I should have sent him a link. This is good stuff. I remember when he first came on the scene, he had really good arms too. But he talked about that. He said his arms just like atrophied a bit. It could be, I don't know, it could be some people it happens with age. He's not a spring chicken. He's in his 40s. Some people it happens with age. Some people, I don't know, nerves. I don't fucking know. But he had really round arms at one point.
I feel like limbs are the first to go once you start getting a little older.
This is true. But Bonac is lucky that he used to have like 23-inch arms because his arms are down, but you go from 23 to 21. I mean, they kind of still look big. But if you remember how they used to look, then you're like, oh, they did come down, right? But still, he's still one of the. Still looks crazy. Yeah, sauce bought the sauce. The sauce bought. It's good, bro. Long time no see.
Yo, what's happening, man? Sorry, I'm late, bro. I did the snooze thing and woke up like 20 something minutes after you started. I was like, shit.
Shit. I mean, you in a whole different time zone. I don't even know what day it is over there. What day is it over there?
It's Monday, man. We're in a new week.
God damn. Isn't that crazy, Alyssa?
Wait. It's 3 o'clock on Sunday over here.
Shit, it's one on Sunday here today. Wait, what time
it's
is it?
timing, man.
What time is it in Australia?
It's just after 6 a.m.
What the fuck? That's insane.
Yeah.
So if something happens Monday, let me know. Fill me in so I could be ready for what
I'll let you
happens
know,
in the
bro.
future. Yeah.
This week sucks already. No, I'm joking. I'm
Oh,
joking.
man,
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Don't tell me that.
No, I
All
just
right.
I just saw my phone and I was like, woke up at like 4:30. I was like, okay, I'll get myself some more sleep. Set the alarm, and then I'm like, nah, I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened.
Hey,
And listen, by the way, I'm a huge fan of your physique.
Thank you, Xavier. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
No worries at all. No worries at all.
Hey, when was that? Do you post regularly still on? Because you haven't came up on my feed, or you haven't really been posting
On desktop, I hardly have. Yeah, I hardly have. Yeah, much lately. But I've done the lives and stuff for a few contests, but not with the Legion. The Legion, I got that copyright strike from the Legion one time, a couple of times. So I'm like,
yeah, you can't do that. Yeah,
tread carefully.
Yeah. I usually see you on the IFBB AMA is where I see you.
Yeah. I've been doing stuff with them. Like I do a podcast with Lee on there, and then do some bodybuilding news videos there, and a few like contest wrap ups with like Antoine and Morgan and all those guys, Chris Tuttle and stuff as well. So that's been good. I've enjoyed that as well. So
where do you go to watch the full episodes on that their website?
Yeah, ifbbama.org, and that has the full episodes, but then has all the clips on YouTube. And then the ones on YouTube you can click on if you like the episode. You can click on the full link in the description and stuff. So
okay,
yeah,
I got to do that because they look like they have some good content.
Yeah, dude. Like once, I don't even know how we got there. It was like me, Antoine, and someone else. We ended up on like Feet Finder or something. But it's like, how the fuck does this work? I'm like, people make bank on there, man. Like, we're like, it's just feet, you know?
Hey, did Antoine retire? I feel like I saw he was downsized. No,
I don't know. I don't think so. But okay. Maybe
I think he's a dad now, so maybe he just took a break. You know?
Yeah, I think he's competing next year. I believe so, unless he's announced something. But Antoine's one of those guys, like, because he's taller as well, like in videos and photos, he can sort of look smaller. And he's like, yeah, I'm 295 pounds. It's like, okay. Yeah. Like you got those legs, you know, add that weight and everything. So
I was gonna say that, yeah. Legs and calves, if you have both quads, hams, and calves, that can add so much weight to you. So it'll make you look you'll weigh so much more than you actually look.
100%, man. 100%. Those big adductors.
I think my dog got to take a shit. Well, you're gonna have to just take a shit right there then, because I'm not going. I'm not going nowhere right now. Oh, you don't have to hold it. He got to practice those fucking holding his fucking shit. All right, but yeah, before you came on, we were looking at the.
My dog used to be so sad when I used to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, right now he's in the crate. That's like his.
So my dog used to be so sad every time. Sorry for the delay, by the way, but my dog used to like. I used to have to leave him inside because, like, if I put him outside, he'd go mental. Like if I was there all day. But then, like, I'd get home and he'd be so sad. Like if he ever actually did like have to shit inside, like he would be like. You could just tell, like, you thought I was going to beat him or something. I'm like, dude, I'm not that mean to you. He's just too anxious, you know.
Yeah. They have the different
How's
personalities. Oh, he's doing good. I got two other dogs right now at the moment. You know, so I got Kane, huh?
Doggy daycare.
Yeah. Oh, I don't see a video of you, Willis.
I know. I can't. My shit's all messed up right now, but I'm still here.
Okay. All right, yeah, I got no. Actually, right now I got 4 total, but one isn't permanent. But three are mine completely. All right.
Wow. That's cool,
man. I'm dog man over here. All right. Yeah, we were just taking a look at Sauce at the cow. I mean, he's peeled, man. I mean, it's crazy how he's so close yet so far because he's right there to qualify, but there's so many other people still that have to qualify, right? So it's like he does the next show, you're gonna have the people who haven't qualified do that show as well. but he's also over from overseas, and there's more people overseas that haven't qualified, right? Crizo is there. What's his name? Rubiel is there. Nathan Diasha, right?
Diash is competing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have, bro, it's deep. I mean, IBB is pretty fucking deep these days.
Yeah, it's massively deep, man. Like I remember do you remember guys like Mark Dugdale back in the day?
I do actually.
Yeah, like guys like him, like Sass almost reminds me of like a modern day version of him, like right there, sort of in the top three, like every contest. So he's sort of always right there. So I think he's going to be one of those guys that can qualify for Olympias, but just sometimes like just might not pick the right show. If there's guys like, Regan doing it or whatever, and he's still close to them, you know what I mean? So it's like he can qualify for sure. It's just all about the show pretty much. So
because you got the guys with the 1 in 100 genetics, right? Who could win shows just doing whatever the fuck they want, right? And then you have the guys who bring everything in their control 100%: tan, posing, condition, fullness, dryness, everything. But there may be 7.5 out of 10 genetically structure wise, right? And those are the guys who, like, he reminds you of Mark Dugdale because they're like right there, right? They bring it. But unfortunately, they have to pick a show where that top 5 guy is in there or that top 10 guy is in there because those guys are just so blessed genetically that they, Andrew came in like pretty fucking off and still won. It's one of those things. Unfortunately, that's just life.
Yeah. Well, I was actually heard someone saying that was actually there. Like, there was a couple of people that were there saying that Sass even could have beaten Andrew. I think it was James Hollingshead. I think he said it and a few others.
So many people said that. It was a bunch of people who said that. Yeah, a bunch of people said that. I mean, I don't know if I agree with. I understand why they said it, but when you see Andrew in person standing there, man, it's hard for him to not win. I get, but okay. Here's the argument though. At what point do you get punished? And it's a good argument. Are we gonna say if you're Andrew, you can have 20 pounds of body fat and you're still gonna beat Sass? Is that, what I'm saying? Where do you cut that off? Okay, he looks 4 weeks out, he still wins. He looks 60. At what point do you say this is unacceptable? Are you gonna say 12 weeks out? He's still better structurally, right? So there is gonna be a limit. They just felt like at prejudging he was at that limit, but at finals he wasn't. So I think that's fair. It's just that I think some people just want the limit to be tighter. How do you feel about that? You think it should be tighter, or that was fine?
I mean, being there in person as well, like, is always different. Oh, did you say Alyssa?
I'm gonna hop up. I gotta go pose a client, eat, all
right,
that good shit.
All right, bet. Yeah. You already know what this is.
Good catch up. Yep.
See ya.
I'll see ya later. Xavier.
Yeah,
man. It depends in person. Like, I remember I saw like Johnny Jackson versus Dennis Wolf. When was it? It was like 2000. I don't even know what year it was, but it was like the Australian Pro. I think before it was the Arnold Classic Australia. I remember seeing Johnny Jackson. He was like on. Like, it was probably one of the better versions of Johnny that's ever sort of been on stage. Looked real good, and Wolf was there. I'm like, Dennis has the shape. Johnny's like granite. Like, it was real hard. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know who I had really winning, but Dennis Wolf got the win, and I was like slightly off to the side a little bit. So sometimes when you're not like front on, like, it'll go against like the Jack, it'll go against like the Dennis Wolf or whatever. But when you're on a bit of an angle, you get to see the conditioning more. So that's the perspective I had, because I was like front row, but to the side a bit. So like, it's tough, man. Like, it's always like pretty close in those battles. Like, if someone's got the conditioning, but someone else has the shape or whatever. But I don't know. I think the line may be there. I think it's about right where it is now, how they judge it, to be honest. Like, it's all opinion, because you can't just say like, oh, hey, like, this person has like a 6 in conditioning, whatever that is, but they have like, 10 and everything else. So do they beat like someone who has like 8 across the board, 8 in size, 8 in conditioning, 8 in shape, it's tough, and it's all like personal opinion. And that's why like we've seen so much like Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford completely split the judges. You know what I mean? Like, that was like 50-50. Like half the judges had Derek, half of them had Nick, you know? And that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
think we're seeing so many more shows now where it's like, because there's so many guys, like so many guys have like something close on one thing and something close on the other, and we put them together and it comes down to judges' opinion. So,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
crazy. It's crazy that so many judges, like good judges, have different opinions, which I actually like, to be honest, because back in the day, it used to be like, you just see scorecards be like 5, 10, and everyone would just be, you know, every judge would have the same opinion. So now I think they mix it up and give the judges a bit more freedom to pick how they like, rather than like head judge being like, hey, like, you know, Tony looks good, right? Tony looks good. Yep, yep,
Oh,
yeah.
he
Okay.
looks great.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah, he looks great. Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
feel like it used to be more
Well,
like that, you know what I mean?
for sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty spot on because here's the thing, right? So you can say, well, it was the condition was too far. Well, the judges agree with you because they gave it to Sas for prejudging. So they're saying, yeah, it was too far. That's why Sas won prejudging, and then he came back tighter. So now they're saying that okay, he came tight enough to flip it the other way. I think that's fair, right? So what the argument is they agree they agree with your argument technically. So I mean it's pretty much right there. And but watch Andrew standing in person next to anybody. It looks like a joke. It don't even look like the same competition. Like it's the most insane shit. We're talking about world class. He's farting. I think it smells bad.
A dog fart, man. I remember that.
We talking about world class guys in the best shape ever that you could imagine, and he's making them look like you can't even look at them. Your eyes won't even go to them. Like you're
You
trying to
saw
look
him in
at them.
Texas, didn't you?
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. I mean, granted, even when he's not like peeled, he has really deep insertions. So
Yeah.
he appears. He has a look at him off season. Off season, you see his veins everywhere. His shoulders are like is 6 inches deep. The fucking line. So his lines are so deep that it still looks insane, you know. And realistically, the places that don't really look lean is really only the glutes and hams, right? Like nobody ever complained about his quad separation or abs or chest lines or arms. Everything is crazy detailed. It's only the glutes and hams. So I don't know if those areas should be so favored that we have to act like we don't see anything else, right? We still have 80% of the body, 90% of the body left to look at, you know, and everything else is there where it needs to be. So I think it's I thought it was fair. I didn't think, and Sas is somebody who I really like Sas, but I still had Andrew Reign, honestly, you know.
Yeah, yeah. If you
Yeah.
need to let your dog out, man, like it's better to let him out than let him shit all on the ground, you know. I can keep it going.
What he sat back down right now, so I think he's willing to hold it. Let's see if he stands up and starts getting jittery, then I might have to think it. But right now he's sitting down looking at me, so I think he's willing to hold it. I do want him to start holding it a little longer. He's turning 6 months, so 6 months he should be able to hold it 6 hours. That's the rule of thumb. So we're gonna stretch it out a little bit because my boy
Oh,
Kane
really?
Kane. Yeah, Kane could hold it for 12 hours. But Kane is gangster. Kane don't care. Kane will hold that shit all day if he won't go in the house. Kane will not. There's no I could if I leave him here for 2 days, he's gonna figure it out. He's not gonna go in the house. But every dog is built different. Every dog is built different. They're not like for some reason I just assumed for some reason that every dog was gonna be similar to Kane if they're a bully, same breed. No, not even close. Not even
So
close.
you
It's like,
got 3 now?
huh? What was that? Uh-uh.
You got 3 bullies now?
Yeah, yeah. I got 3 bullies and I got 2 XLs and a standard. Kane is like a big pocket or a small standard. And then I have a husky lab mix, but she was a rescue, and I have a couple of people who want to adopt her, so she's up for adoption. The other three they're mine. Kane is my boy, like he's a pet. The other two I'm actually gonna I'm gonna start breeding bullies, XL exo bullies. So the other two, I'm gonna breed them, and
Oh,
then yeah. Once I get a couple of breedings from them, and then I'll probably put them in a pet home. I don't like to stretch it out. Like
yeah.
all I like 2 liters, and I'll keep it. I'll keep it moving. Unless we build it, if we build a really close bond, then I might keep the boy. The girl, we just haven't got super close for some reason. She kind of just does her own thing. So I think she would probably do better with like a family home or something. Let's see, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I got going on right now.
Dude, breeding bullies is like a good financial move. You know, they're not cheap.
No, they're not cheap at all. It's a big investment, but I mean, you sell a couple of puppies, you kind of make that back because they're expensive. I mean, you could easily sell them $3,000 a puppy. Especially the kind of puppies that
Yeah, that's like
I'm gonna make. I mean, these are gonna be, and in the fitness world, Flex Lewis used to sell bullies. He doesn't anymore. There's nobody in the fitness world doing it, and I'm gonna have really fucking muscular bullies, and the bodybuilder are gonna love it. Bodybuilder, we love muscle so much. So jacked ass and really good temperament, like really like relaxed, good family dogs, affectionate, and just buff as hell. Oh, you can't. All right, let's see where we at. Where we going through Cal? Okay.
talking about someone.
Hey, this guy is really good. I feel like he's not getting enough love. Ryan Foster.
He looks awesome, bro. What did he place?
I don't know. I want to say like sixth place.
Yeah.
I mean that's a pretty good placing, but nonetheless, like, bro, he's aesthetic. He's big. He can pose. It's a really good look, bro. He's like a huge classic looking guy. He's like he had some classic shape and posing, but like open size. I thought he looked phenomenal, personally.
Who placed fifth in that show?
What show is this? Cali.
Cali.
I don't know. Like, I don't know why that show is so blurry to me.
Yeah,
Can't go to bed.
it's same.
Yeah. The show is so blurry to me. I know it was Regan Sass.
I don't know why.
Oh, Regan Sass, and then the Florian. I don't know. Let me go see if I can find it. It got to be somewhere there.
Because all I'm remembering is Regan and Sass, and I know Florian competed. That's all I can think of as well. And I'm like,
I can't. Oh, this guy placed up there.
Leandro Perez.
Leandro, yeah, he got.
Was he third?
Let's say. I feel like he got third.
Yeah, third. Down the bottom it says third. Yeah, that photo.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that. And then, so if he got third,
Florian.
then fourth. Okay, yeah, the fourth would be Florian, and then fifth. I don't know. Ryan got sixth though.
Yeah, I suppose there's some good guys up there, Like, oh wait, there's a call out there. So yeah, Leandro Perez, Sass, Bruno, and Florian.
Oh yeah. I forgot Bruno did it.
Bruno was fourth. Yeah, Florian fifth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a good place straight after those guys. It's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good. Let me get my glasses, bro. I really can't see. I'm really blind.
No, you're good, man. Take your time. I'll just keep talking. But yeah, I think like that's a pretty solid top six, because when you look at like back in the day, like you would have like a top 2, 3, and then sometimes go down to 4 and 5. But I remember it used to be like guys like Darren Charles, who was like the guy known as the king of the $10,000 shows. He was like winning tons of shows. I just don't think a guy like that nowadays would have enough size. Like that wouldn't be considered enough size to win pro shows, I don't think. Like maybe like Beatty, like do you think that like Darren Charles, who used to be like the king of the $10,000 shows, do you think he would win pro shows now? Oh, but Beatty's gone. but then he was up against like I remember Phil Heath when he made his pro debut. He did, I don't know if Darren Charles did both those shows. I think he did. So Phil in his pro debut, I think did I'm trying to think if it was Sean Ray's show or one of these other ones, Colorado Pro.
Yeah, it was a Colorado Pro, and Phil beat Darren. He beat
Yeah,
Darren.
Darren. And then New York next week or week after, right?
Yeah, I think Dennis James did one of those shows as well. So Phil beat some good guys. He beat Darum, he beat Dennis, he beat some really good guys. But yeah, guys like that will come clean house, basically do all the shows and win all of the shows besides the big shows, right? But like you said today, bro, the only people that can do that today are like top 5 guys. That's it. You know, like Lunsford can come clean house, or Martin or something, but everybody else, no one person can just clean house like that anymore because there's just too many good guys, man. You know,
100%. Do you think that, like, because Darren Charles was like a conditioning guy, right? Like, he wasn't that huge when you go back
it
and
wasn't.
look. Like, he had certain body parts that were like, oh, they popped out. But do you think he would do all right today? Because that was like the mass monster era when Ronnie was like winning Olympias and stuff. So it's like, it's weird that like everyone's like, oh, mass more back then. And I remember the mentality. It was like dirty bulk, get as big as you can. Like, you know, that's how it used to be. And it was funny because in smaller shows, they still rewarded the guys that were, you know, still like conditioning freaks and stuff rather than just mass monsters, you know, because like then Dennis James would be winning all these shows, which he wasn't, you know?
Yeah, they still kind of do something similar, right? Okay, it's like
remember Ross Flanagan won the Cal Pro, right?
Yeah.
But he goes to Olympia. You know he's not going to play at the Olympia because he's not big enough, right? So like some of the smaller shows, if you have good shape structure and you're lean enough, you could sneak a win in. But when it comes to Olympia, it's all about the size, bro. You have to have crazy size, or you know, Olympia Arnold the bigger show. So as far as Darren Charles, I don't think he'll be big enough, man. Like yes, Tonio isn't the biggest guy, but in this show, Tonio said he was like 15 pounds bigger, which would put him like 230-ish maybe, or high 220s. And he's still not as big as the other guys, but more than big enough. Whereas Darren Charles is like 5'9" maybe, and I don't even think Darren was 230. You know, so I just don't think he would have. If we're talking about like today in particular, I don't think he would be able to win shows. But maybe like 4 years ago or so, when things kind of hit like a, you know, like after the Phils and Kyle left, there was like a little slump, and then the Knicks and the Andrews and the Sampsons came right in that little slump. I think that was a time for people. That's when like Justin Rodriguez was winning shows and Blessing was winning shows. Like that was a period where you could start winning some shows, and now it's back up to like you have to be really really elite to win shows. You know, it's one of those. It kind of ebbs and flows, and right now we're at a point where it's just too much competition, bro. It's insane, literally. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta have everything.
Why do you think that? Do you think it's because of money? Is it because of money? Do you think?
No, I think
money.
I think with every sport, there's there's gonna be some lulls where just the talent pool kind of just slows down a little bit, but it always picks back up. It's always picked back up. I think when Classic physique came out, we were losing some of those genetics to those guys. And then open bodybuilding is kind of cool again, right? It's popular again. So I think you're starting to get some better genetics coming back into it. You know, we're still missing out on a lot of genetics going to Classic, but there's so many more people in the sport in general that I think it's going to make up for it. I think it's going to make up for it.
Exactly. I think like because the way I started to look at it, I was like, the amateur comps, like there's so many less like actual bodybuilders, and I was like, oh, like this is not looking good. And then I sort of think about it though, like there's still like guys that wouldn't get into it that are going into Classic that are like, I have good genetics for this. Like there's more money in the open. Hey, let's up it to open, you know, because like maybe some of these guys that are in Classic never would have got into the industry at all, you know. So some of those people watch Sam Sulik or whoever, you know, whoever's popular at the time, or Chris Bumstead or whoever, that maybe they said, I want to be Classic, and then they start, you know, competing, and people are like, hey, dude, you're open, you know, like you're open, and they're like, oh shit, I'll do that. That looks cool, you know, like I like Derek now, or I like Samson or whoever.
Well, but okay, but here's the thing about money, bro. Nobody actually is thinking about money until you're already a top guy. Like Samson didn't start even thinking about money till he was already an Arnold Classic champion. Like nobody does this sport I can say that. Nobody actually does well in this sport that does it for money. Not one person. Money is something that comes when you're not thinking about money. Because bodybuilding, if he was to actually do bodybuilding for money, that would be the worst business choice anybody could ever make in their life. Literally, there's no worse business choice you can make than going into bodybuilding for money. So it would never work that way. So it's like you just love it, and you happen to have the genetics, and then the money just lands on your lap. Whoa, really? 50K? Wow. Now you're thinking about money, right? But that's the only way it can happen. Now, one person ever said, I want to be a bodybuilder because I want to make money. And then they actually go into bodybuilding and make money, right? You know, so the money the money only helps with talent when it's like this, like when the top pros are going to do the Arnold now, right? They're going to have more top guys do the Arnold because of the money. But it's only those top guys because only one person is going to win that, right? Like nobody's getting that money besides the top 5 guys anyways. Everybody else is like, wow, money, but well, you're not getting anything. You're not getting a dime because you're not going to be top 5, right? So that's the thing about money. You know?
Well, Antoine was saying he finished like, that year he finished 7th in the Arnold, where it was like he was the unlucky one of like 3 guys. Like it was like John De La Rosa down to Antoine, like Akeem jumped to Antoine, I think, or something, like in the judging maybe in that show. And Antoine got 7th in the Arnold, and I think he said he still got like, he didn't even think about it, and then he got a check for like $9,000 or something, like just went into his account, and he's like, oh, I won $9,000 for finishing 7th in the Arnold. Like he was like, oh, that's sort of cool. It was unexpected. So I'm like, it maybe helps those guys. Like if they knew they were going to go into a show and like the worst they'd get is like 5, 6, 7, $8,000, and they're like, oh, I might as well hit like 5 of these or 3 of these or whatever. So at least at minimum, that with the chance of placing higher. But if they think, okay, I'm going to be top 5 in these 3 shows and I might walk away with 15, 20K, it's like, oh, it's a bit more incentive than going in there like, shit, I might walk away with 1 or 2K, like how it used to be a bit more.
This is true. Yeah, this is true.
And I also think about William too, bro. Like, would William have be hitting all these shows if it wasn't for the money? Like, I don't Detroit, he gets what, 30K or something like that, which is pretty nice money. And then he hits a few other shows. It's like William's walking away with 60K and doesn't, won 1 show or something, or 2 shows or something like that.
Well, that's when it does matter, right? William is one of the best in the world. When you are one of the best in the world, I mean, money is the biggest incentive, right? Because William knows that he's going to win some of these shows, right? It's everybody else that is not going to win those shows that that it doesn't really change anything. But yeah, if you're Nathan Diasha or William or who does a lot of shows or wins a lot of shows.
Who wins a lot of shows? I mean, nowadays, it's sort of split up. No one really goes and hits shots. Nathan Diasha, he's got 11 wins. He's got a lot.
I guess you could say Regan won 1, and he's going to do a couple more shows.
I think that's smart, to be honest, because Regan, I don't think it's going to be like top 5 in the O this year or anything,
Yeah. So he's one of those people that, well, Regan isn't short for money. It's not like he needs it. But he's going to make money, right? And it's going to help him for sure. So what the hell is that? Is that the room? These dogs are acting crazy today. But so that's when it's a big deal, I think. That's when it's a big deal because those guys can make a killing. I mean, Samson. We talking about millions now. Samson's not Ken is making millions just from shows. And Derek is making millions. These guys are making millions from shows. Even Martin and Nick can, if they choose to do so. So the money's there, and I personally love it. It would be cool to eventually get some money in the lower classes. Kane, no. It would be cool to get some money more like in the lower, like you said, in the lower placings. But you know how life is. But people don't care. People only care about winning. But if we could get like 5 to 10, or like even 10th to like 15th, some money, decent money, I think that'd be a pretty nice gesture, Yeah. I don't know.
Dude,
it's just
what I would love if like the IFBB or the promoters or whatever posted like every contest, like just even the open men, like just like the top 5, top 10 or whatever, what money they make in each show. And then we could just sort of figure it out. It'd be fun, Like I tried to figure out, I don't know if it was like last year at the Arnold, like how much like second place down one. I could not find that shit anywhere, man. Like the Arnold UK, the Arnold Columbus. I was like, why don't they? I guess like it's a drop off, but they're still giving away like an extra $300,000. It's weird to like sort of seemingly hide it. Like what Anton made, like that 7K a couple of years ago, it's like, that's pretty good for, or 9K or whatever for seventh place. I'm like, they should list that because they're not getting any credit for it. And the athletes don't even know. Like Anton didn't even know seventh got that money. So it's like, why not advertise that, you know?
This is true. I feel like they did a lot. They did a lot they could show like that. Kane, no. Kane, no. I feel like they did a lot they could show like that to kind of keep it for even with the judging. I feel like with the judging, they should show in real time. Like, bro, nobody's gonna beat up the judges. Nobody's gonna punch Tyler. Like, you know, like they're not in any danger. I feel like if you show it, it would make the fans feel better. It would make everybody feel like, you know what, they're on our side. They're one of us, and I think that improves their relationship with everybody.
So you'd want live judging then. So you'd want to see the scores after prejudging.
Yeah, and with the names, everything. I want to see each judge who they voted for, who they get, because the same thing happens. They release the scorecards, and it's exactly everything is perfect. Oh, he got straight for everything is always so perfect, and it's like that just seems like it looks bogus. I'm not saying it is, but it looks bogus, right? Like what? He really won? He didn't win prejudge. There's no way, you know. So in real time, I think it holds people accountable. So, you know, you're gonna make sure you're on your shit because everybody's gonna see, and I think it'll make people feel more comfortable about the judging. Like, okay, this is not like a group thing or that they're telling people, or the head judge is telling people who to vote for, or anything like that. They have a mind of their own, and they can do what they please. And I think that's important personally.
The only thing I don't like about the like seeing the judging live or straight after prejudging is that, like, you know, when you go into finals, like, you know how Steve does it now, and there'll be like, just say 3 guys in the last call out, and you're like, and they all get to go in the middle, and then it's just like, okay, guess who's winning, motherfucker. Like, I love that. I love having that. Like at the Olympia, I remember when it was like, well, a few years, it's been like Samson, Derek, and Hardy, and it was like, it's so close, or like you leave prejudging, and I remember hearing like all these like post prejudging wrap up videos, and some people saying like, I remember Chris Aceto being like, maybe Samson's winning, and that's the year Derek won, and then he's like, oh, but you know, probably Derek and Hardy, and it was just so close that it made it so exciting, and it made so much speculation. But I get what you're saying. Maybe after the show, I would like to see it, like, you know, the prejudging and finals, like even if it said judge 1, judge 2, judge 3. Head judge or something like that, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get that. And then if you see some like judge that's just judging like whack all the time, like they're like, oh, Samson third and he won or something, you'd be like, oh, maybe this judge is like, you know, you know, something going on.
It might spoil it a little bit if you do it that way, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the way they're
Doing it right now, but I think any way you can make something better, I think it's important to do that. I think Tyler has been doing a good job. A lot of people were skeptical of Tyler when he first got the position because of his age. The best thing about Tyler is his age, because he understands the new world, right? He understands that how the fuck can you have shows with no live stream? Like, no, like, think about it. Millions of followers of the sport, they're not going to the shows. They can't. They literally can't. So the only way we can see it is watching live stream. So before that, we're looking at phone pictures, bro, for years. Like, why we in the Stone Ages? How are we looking at? It's crazy, right? Like, you know, so things like that he brought to the light. And even talking about why people got placings. Oh, let's break this down. Why did Nick lose? Even if we don't agree with it, he's giving us a reason, and that's all we ask for. Not just like, we know what we're talking about, you guys are stupid, like, you know. So I think Tyler has done a great job because he's young enough to understand how the new world works, and he's not stuck in the 20th century, you know. So the best thing about him actually is his age. You know, he look what he did with Pittsburgh. Look, he understands social media as well, and that's everything nowadays. You know? Yeah,
and don't you think that, like, this is like the thing that I would do if I was the IFBB? You know, like, because they've got, you know, we know the IFBB have money, which, you know, we can't tell them what to do with their money exactly, but it would be awesome if they could do something where they live stream every show, like every open show or something like that, where we could have, you know, a free streaming service where everyone can watch it completely for free. People can do like their own streams on YouTube and share it and all that sort of stuff, as long as they feature the sponsors that are sponsoring the live stream, or, you know, they feature the full thing or something. Like, have some sort of rules around it where, like, you know, everyone can stream it, everyone can put it out to the world. So just say each show gets, you know, 100,000 or 150,000, like even the small shows, you could have that many people probably viewing it overall at some stage or viewing some part of it because it's all free. And then have, like, you know, the intros. Like I see the way other sports do it. Like Formula One has this like format to every weekend. So it's like they have an hour and a half like show, like lead up, like pre-show for the race, and then they have like 3 interviews they put in there, and then between that they're talking to the athletes or other drivers or whatever, and it's just this same locked in format that like you get into it. And if they had that for every bodybuilding show, dude, I reckon you could get so many followers and have, like, you know, 3 athlete interviews that get inserted into like a half an hour pre-show, and they can be pre-recorded like the day before, like say like to the pros, like at the athletes meeting we'll interview you, and then that gets inserted into the broadcast, you know, and just have that every week. Because if you got like 150,000 people viewing shows, because dude, the classic physique fans in big shows especially, it's crazy. Like I remember I did like a classic physique Olympia watch along, and it had like 350,000 views, like for the Olympia. And if we could get some hype going into the Olympia with these smaller shows and have free streams for a lot of them, that would be epic. But the problem is now, like, the classic, like to put on a classic show, it's so much cheaper than an open show. But you have like 50 shows in a year or 60 shows in a year or whatever, and it's too many for people to follow. Like as a fan, like you can't follow 60 classic shows, man. Like that's more than one a weekend. You know, you're not gonna. It's just creates less importance. It's like the NBA. Like people don't really follow the NBA like regular season as much anymore as they used to. You know, it's like, oh, playoffs are on. Okay, yeah, I'll catch a game. But there's 82 regular season games. Each game goes for 2.5, 3 hours. That's a huge time commitment for a fan to sort of follow now. And I think that's why the NBA, like, viewers are dropping off a bit, because it's like, it's too much. You know, people have short attention spans. You don't want to sit down for 2.5 hours and watch 82 games a year of your team, you know. But if you can, like, do it, like have less shows, or I don't know if they'll ever do that, but at least stream the big shows, you know, and make it popular and make these like athletes like superstars, you know what I mean? Like make them do all the clips, do all the stuff like that. And if you did that and had a streaming service, yes, it would cost a fuckload of money, but I think the second, third year, then it would really pay off for the IFBB. Because if you make the whole federation, you know, the IFBB and the NPC, they're linked. So if you make it so much more popular, you'll get so many more amateurs doing it. Be like, oh shit, like I'm seeing these classic guys, you know, every other weekend or whatever on these streams. Like, I want to do that, you know, and people will get more into it that way, I think. But having like a paywall for every show be like, you know, $40 or $30 or whatever, it's just too much to follow all the shows unless you're like that hardcore bodybuilding fan already. But we want to get more people into the sport in general, and the only exposure is like Instagram, pretty much, you know.
I think they should actually do what the
NBA does with NBA TV or with the app, where they stream all the games, right? They know everybody isn't going to watch every game, but you can, right? But you play just one flat rate, right? So instead of 40 to, I don't know, whatever, 40 to 60 a show, you might be playing 20 a month, right? So you get to watch every show, but because you probably won't, they're gonna end up making more money that way, right? But you don't feel like you're making this huge investment because it's a little bit of money, or even $10 a month, right? You feel like you're making a small investment, but you get access to so much, you know. So I think that'd be a great idea. It is gonna be busier times of the year, slower times of the year, but if you don't feel like you're making such a big investment, because to say 50 on a stream, that seems like a lot, but to say $10 a month, you're like, well, it's only $10. I have $10 a month, right? But you get to watch all the shows. So I think I would pay $10 a month to I probably would only watch 50% of the shows, but I think that's fair, you know. And they're actually going to make more money. I think they will make a lot more money. Yes, you would have to spend some money to build that whole whatever you call it, the whole software, I guess. So, I don't know, whatever it's called. So, but like you said, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off big time. You know, I think that's a great idea. You know, I think it's coming. I think with Tyler, I think Tyler has already thought about that, because the Tyler seems to be doing some thinking. I think Tyler definitely thought about that. If it can't work, he probably knows that already now. He probably already troubleshooted it. And if it can work, he's probably already working on it. Honestly,
Yeah.
he seemed like the kind of guy who would think of something like that too. So I think I think they're in good hands. Honestly, I think they're in good hands. So
They could streamline it, man, but they could even do it like that's why I think at that point, if I was, if you want to make bodybuilding as big as possible, just I know it's like a big ask, and you can't ask people to do stuff with your money, but if you make it free, bro, like just that point of entry for guys that are classic fans, like, and just say to athletes, like, part of your contract is you have to share this on your social media. Like, once you sign the contract, you have to share that there's a free live stream, or share this image or whatever. At least if they share it once, and encourage them to share it more. But if you get every athlete competing in those shows, say, hey, there's a free live stream, that means all your family and friends are going to watch, and that means like they might get into it, and then you're posting it to your fans, so the fans. And then the family and friends are all going to watch as well. So it's like you're going to get a lot of viewers on those streams. And then the second year they do it. And the third year, then they say to the sponsors, hey, like we got X amount of million views over the year, over this whole year. You put your ad in, it's $100,000 or whatever for the year, or $150,000 or whatever, which sounds like a lot of money. But if you're going to be on 20 odd streams, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? It's not
that's
that bad.
true. Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
true.
couple of grand a stream or something, so you could sell multiple sponsors on that and have ad breaks and stuff. Like, I just think it would just take bodybuilding to another level, but just no one's done it yet, like bodybuilding back in the day. Bodybuilding.com used to do that. They used to stream shows like the what was the one before the Arnold all the time, the Ironman Pro. They'd stream New York, they'd stream a whole bunch of shows through the year completely for free, with commentary, with like Bob Chick or like Dan Solomon or whatever. That was going to all the shows. And dude, I don't know how many views they used to get, but I think it was quite a few. Like, and it was free on bodybuilding.com, like how many years ago? Like, like 20 years ago. It was free. I was watching that shit online, and it's like 20 years. Like, the technology is better now, man. Like, I know bodybuilding.com has a lot of money, so they were probably paying a lot just to put these shows on for free. But they did this model, like they had sponsors. They're like, oh, go to the bodybuilding.com store and purchase your supplements and all this stuff. But it was professional as hell, man. They did all the interviews backstage. Like, it was really, really cool. And I remember, like, even stuff like it sticks out in my mind, like Mo El Moussaoui, he did the Ironman and he came in awesome that year. And they just said, oh, like on the spot, like, oh, do you want to invite to the Arnold Classic or something like that, like backstage? And that was all on the stream as well. I'm like, shit, like that's cool, man. Like, yeah, I just think they should seriously look at that, because it's going to happen eventually in some way, whether it's a paid service or it's free or whatever, but they should do it sooner rather than later, because like, eventually, all these sports are going to be streaming everything, even all the other like niche sports and stuff.
This is true. All right, let's look at Legion. Did you see all the pictures of Legion?
Yeah, I saw it, man. Yeah.
You agree with the placings?
I mean, I agree with Tonio winning, that's for sure. Like, Tonio looked awesome. Like, man, some photos, I'm like, his quads have just like, we're just going like, I don't know, they're just so rounded. Like, they look crazy. So, there's a guy actually that finished second in the classic physique at Legion. His name's Tom Stanley. I saw him there somewhere. He's not in that one. That's not him.
That's not him.
That's Battle for Third. That one.
Oh,
it says. Yeah.
Oops.
I saw him somewhere there, but he his name's Tom Stanley from Western Australia, and I actually used to coach him and do like some of his posing and stuff. So it was cool to see him like get second in his classic pro debut as well. So that was cool.
Oh, that was his debut?
But yeah, the show, so we had Tonio in first. So yeah, as his debut, he got second in classic. He was shredded, man. Like, he always he competed in natural federations and stuff. And when he made like the leap, it was somewhere there, but he's on Gilco. Gilco did a video on him. But yeah, he was really, really good. I was super impressed with him. But yeah, in the open we had, what did you think of Patrick Moore? Do you agree with him being in second?
No, I probably think I would have had Ken second personally. I thought Ken was by far the most muscular guy in the lineup. Really good shape, and everything was there, and he was the biggest guy. So I would have had Ken in second, and I probably would have had Florian and Bruno over Patrick as well. But that's just my. Is that Patrick has good shape, but he's not peeled, and he's not big enough. So you can't just say like, oh, the shape is pretty, so he beats all these big shredded guys. It doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? So, but what do I know? That's just my opinion personally.
Yeah, shout out to Patrick for improving so much, but at the same time, I still feel like there was some like look at Bruno, the size of him there in that lineup.
That's what I'm saying.
And the backs as well in that bottom picture. Like you look at like Blessing on the right, and then you compare him to all the other guys. Like, yeah, it's just. I mean, back double definitely looks a lot better, but still doesn't have that thickness and density of like the Bruno there, Tonio, and yeah, it's for me. I would have had Patrick a bit lower, but it seems like in Legion and some shows like they tend to really like Patrick's shape and tend to place him pretty high. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of those things. But I mean, I think it's a great story for him coming back and doing that. But okay, so look across this lineup. Look at fucking Ken's quads. Look at Ken's arms. Right. So you look at all of that, even compared to Bruno. Like Ken is dwarfing Bruno, and Bruno's the big guy, right? Just as good. Like to me, it doesn't make sense. Like how can you look at this and have him all the way on the right? Like he wasn't even in the first call out until they switched it later. Just look through any pictures when he's in the lineup. He's standing out. Like by far.
I completely agree, man. Like he was definitely overlooked. Like there's a few things with Ken, like on his posing, that I'm like, I noticed he's doing it most muscular, and he had his like hands together, and he had his shoulders real high in one time when he did it. But like, there's a few little things like that you're like, oh, okay, you could tweak that. But like physique wise, man, like you said, the quads, like they looked insane. Whatever he did for this show, he definitely looked better in my opinion. Like he just looked that little bit more crisp and just came in really on. But I thought the same thing. Like when I first saw him, I was like, oh, Ken's going to be up there, like battling, for that second place. And I was surprised to see that he fell so low, especially like at prejudging, like with the call outs and stuff. But I was glad at least that he moved ahead of Blessing. He definitely deserved that.
At least, yeah, at very least, I thought Florian looked good too, actually. But he has some imbalances as far as he's pretty bottom heavy, and his back is really not good. Bruno has a really cool looking physique.
Yeah, Florian's head is massive compared to Patrick's.
Bro. Look, Florian and Bruno have huge fucking heads. It's weird. They're tall, but their heads make them look like they're like short guys. Like, yeah, look at his head compared to Patrick, and look at Bruno's head compared to Tonio. It's like they got some big ass heads, bro.
What's in another weight class?
The Florian, they don't post no Gilco.
Have you seen this? Have you seen Bruno's jaw?
Yeah, he had a massive face, not just his head, right? His head is big, but he had a big face. Like his nose is big, his jaw is big, his ears, like everything on his head is big. His jaw is crazy, like insane.
I was watching a video of Mark's Max Muscle, the one who does the comparisons.
Yeah.
He posted a video and he showed Bruno from the back, and you can see his jaw poking out from the back. I don't know if you can see it in this one, but man,
you can. Yeah, you can see some popping out. That's insane, bro. Some of his poses look like Justin Compton. You notice?
They do.
The sweeps, the bubbliness. Yeah, that most muscular. It looks just like, honestly, almost every one of his poses. Like, just look at him right now. Compare him to that. Looks exactly like Compton's. Compton was a bit bigger though, but still, I mean, the waist, the roundness. Compton didn't have a headpiece that big, but everything else. Yeah, I mean, I really like his physique, honestly.
Dude, yeah, he really does, doesn't he? He's impressed me actually.
Yeah,
same. Yeah, no, I like his physique, man. He's just slightly like, he's a slightly less like his waist isn't big or anything like that. Like it's just I think Compton had that slightly more exaggerated sort of shape. You know what I mean? Like he's like a slightly more exaggerated version of this.
100%. Yeah, Compton looks
a lot of similarities.
Compton was slightly more muscular, but more pronounced everything. His arms more pronounced, quad sweep more pronounced. But I mean, he could get that look. He could get that look if he keeps doing what he's doing, because he's been adding some size for sure. You know, but shout out, Bruno.
Yeah.
Tonio was looked pretty crisp. His separate, it's like he's not like Sauce Harati peeled, but he has crazy insertions. He has deep lines, so it makes him look like he's even more right. It makes him like he's even more peeled than he is because the lines are so deep. You know, and you're right. His quads look like extremely full.
He looks like he's so different looking, man. Like he's almost like got that Michael Lockett muscle look. You know what I mean? Where the muscle doesn't look like real.
100%. Well, everybody says Dexter more so because of his size and shape, but he's more Michael Lockett than he is Dexter, because it's like the crazy long glutes and the insanely like round deep line look. Like Michael had that crazy deep lines too. You know,
there's certain sharpness to his physique and then the bubbliness with it. Like it just doesn't look real. Like if you'd said like AI generate a bodybuilder with like some sort of like, you know, some sort of AI generation thing, like he doesn't look real, which I always like, man. Like Dexter didn't look real, Michael Lockett didn't look real. Like they have that sort of like the insertions go so deep, like it's just, I don't know, it's something else, man. I mean, he can get lost when he stands next to like bigger guys, but just especially individually, like he's nearly like unbeatable. You know, like I love that look.
I want to grow my hair out again.
But, it makes you want to. Hey, your hair looks good now, though.
I gotta get. Oh, thank you, man. I gotta get a hair transplant for that. That master one fucked me up.
The crown.
It's. You can't tell. It's thinning, but you can't tell. I just can't grow it long. But if it's short, you can't tell.
That's not bad.
Yeah, Tonio looks like the same Tonio, but more exaggerated. Like the way he added tissue, it went to all the exaggerated spots, like his sweep, his shoulder cap, like the points that were already exaggerated got even more exaggerated, right? Yeah. Like his waist looks even smaller. His back looks even, like his lats in particular look even more pronounced. Like everything, you see his arms, everything looks more 3D, right? So hey man, genetics is king. If you have the genetics, he don't got to worry about his waist getting bigger or anything like that. He just eats, and then he just looks like a better, like Keon. They get bigger, they get more aesthetic, right? not like, oh, he's getting blocky. Like they add size and they look more exaggerated lines. Keon goes from classic to 212, and he's more aesthetic at 212 than classic.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. There's some guys that actually get more aesthetic as they add size, and then there's other guys where they start young and they're aesthetic, and they get bigger, and it's just, I don't know, it's just the way the muscles added. Maybe I don't know, where it will just go the complete opposite way. I'm like, it's
well, like you could say Dennis James was like aesthetic, and then as he got bigger, or even Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman was aesthetic, and so. Some people get. Imagine. Antonio is more aesthetic as an open than 212, right? Think about it. Yeah. In 212, he was just like balanced. Like, he looks pretty good. And then as he gets bigger and bigger, you're like, he's getting more and more pronounced, which is it's crazy to see. It's dope though. These are the kind of physiques I love. I love the round, bubbly shit. That shit it looks really good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's all that's all. I think.
Oh, that's a guy I coached in the middle there.
This one?
To coach back in the day, yeah. From Western Australia. Tom Stanley.
Oh, is he from Australia?
Yeah. He's conditioning, like when he locks out his quads, they're pretty crazy. I mean, it wasn't like you had like a top Olympia guys here, but he has some for a guy that's a new pro, like he looked pretty damn good and had some great conditioning.
Oh yeah.
I think he needs a little bit more conditioning in that back, but a lot of other body parts, like he's come a long, long way, man. Like I actually said to him, I said that he's more suited to open bodybuilding, because I didn't think he had like that traditional sort of classic physique, but he's just added so much muscle in the right places that he could pull off some super classic pose, almost like a Hosema. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
see,
like he's
he might
good
actually.
conditioning. He's like a Hosema light. You know, once he improves, he'll be there. You know,
He might actually be flat because I don't see any body fat, but you don't see the pronounced detail. Because look at his glutes, right? If he had body fat, his glutes and hams wouldn't look like that.
yeah.
I think you see some areas that look soft. I think it's like looser skin. I think he's actually flat. It's hard to say because I don't know his prep, but if I had to guess, I think he would look harder if he was fuller.
And there's a lot of new muscle on that physique too, because it was only like a matter of years ago, but he was like natural, you know, like he's only been doing things for so long. So he was like a guy that's a good natural bodybuilder, but this is another one. This guy was not aesthetic when he was smaller, and now he's become aesthetic adding muscle because his waist has stayed identical to how it was when he was natural. Like it hasn't changed at all. So yeah,
That's
definitely
fine.
an example of getting more aesthetic as you add muscle. So shout out to Tom.
But Xavier, I'm gonna have to end it there. I gotta bounce, but
You good, bro?
it's nice to catch up. I definitely want to have you back on. We could catch up some more. We kind of had like a shorter segment with you today, but it felt like two different episodes. So that's always cool when that happens that way. You a host too, so you bring a different kind of insight, which I like to go back and forth like that. But yeah, stay in touch. I want to have you on more regularly if you're down for that.
100%, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Gets me up early too, bro.
Super early. But Xavier, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, likewise, bro. I'll have to get my podcast going again. Get you on too, bro.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, I'm down always. I'm down. Let's do it. But we can have Sergio on to somebody. So, to throw somebody in there for some spice. All right, brother.
Man.
You ready,
All right, bro.
champ?